Good evening, welcome to tonight's stream. I'll be finishing off this necklace that I started last night, and then we'll have a this glasses case is metal. That's a Kumahimo magnetic clasp that's got itself stuck to the bottom. That's quite funny. Right, we also have a junior pussycat. Well, he's not as junior as he used to be, but he's still a junior pussycat. And right, we have lights. We have the cameras. Action is next, I guess. So let's just move slightly so I can get closer to what I'm working on, or at least a little bit. Junior, you're watching, but you're not really, you're keeping your eyes quite closed, aren't you? That's going to be about okay, I think, so we shall have a go. See if we can do this with Junior on my knee. That could be a challenge, we shall find out. Good evening, pussycat. So that's that, so we want two of these. Okay. Now got to get back into the pattern of doing this, but hopefully that shouldn't be too much of a trouble. Why is there 3 on there? There shouldn't be 3. Looks like I accidentally picked up an extra ring. So I'll put it back. There we go. Right. Excuse me. Had sort of sausage and chips for tea, and it's making me want to cough. Yes, that is closed. Right. If my throat will behave, we're just going to... Did you squeak, Junior? Oh no, that was clear at the other end of the room. Okay. As you can see, Junior's doing his cute pussycat act. Head on the table. And yeah, here you go. We'll see how long he stays. He might just decide at some point just to jump up and move, but for the moment you're going to be there and you're going to attract all the viewers to my stream, aren't you, Junior? When they see your picture, it will be an irresistible magnet to draw them here. Yeah. He don't care, does he? As long as he has a warm knee. Actually, he's not as bothered about a warm knee as Cleo is. She's the one that always has to be on her knee. Oops, there's it. There we go. So we're making, oh dear, excuse me. We're making a necklace to go with what's just off camera here, which is a bracelet of this same weave and a couple of a pair of earrings, a couple of earrings. So we will have a full set. I've trying a few of these out with this pure silver colour. That way they resemble sterling silver, but they don't tarnish, so they stay really shiny for a long time. And if they lose the shine, you just tend to wash them a little bit with soapy water and they go shiny again. Okay, we'll pick that one up in a minute. I see where that went. Well, it didn't go where I expected it to go, but I found it. Don't like leaving them around on the floor if I can avoid it. When you stand on them, it tends to hurt a little bit if you're in your bare feet. But what you're doing with bare's feet, I'm not quite sure. But anyway. Now, one of the slight problems doing a necklace on a stream is that the necklace gets longer, and if I'm not careful I'll tend to be working with it off frame. So if you notice me going off frame a lot, just mention it and I'll try and keep on frame for a bit. Alright, okay. Fortunately, making chainmail is a very repetitive activity. You keep doing the same thing until you get to the length that your size that you are after. Now I am trying to decide if it's getting a little bit too warm here, and I think it is, so I'm just going to take a jump off. Excuse me. Of course it could be Junior as well. Nice portable little radiator that he is. Tell you what, he is somewhat zonked out here. He's obviously quite tired. He's not moving as much. He's not being bothered by me moving. What's up, Junior? You all tired, are you, from all that sleeping you've been doing today? Nope, it's too tight to answer. We may never know. Oh dear, whenever you try and pick up rings, they always move to be just in the wrong position for what you want. It's like they know exactly what it is and they're going to pick exactly the opposite. It's like when you drop toast on the floor, it always lands butter side down. Of course, that is it always lands butter side down, except when it lands butter side up. But you know what I mean. Yes, yeah. I'm beginning to wonder if Twitch has failed this evening. It's really quiet. Nobody seems to be around. It's as quiet as a mouse. Mind you, can't be that quiet because otherwise Junior, I guess, would be interested in it if it was a mouse. But Really quiet out there, you guys. Anybody that's watching? What is it about a Thursday?
Oh.
That was an exclamation due to sharp claws, I think. In case you heard it. Lady's hour got punctured. Okay, that ring wants adjusting. Which one is it now? Come on, stop. There it is. It's relaxed slightly from when I closed the ring yesterday. There we go. Just a little bit of tweaking just to close up the gap. Sometimes the metal has like has a sort of a memory of where it was. So when you twist these things to close them up, what happens is sometimes they remember where they were and they relax slightly back to where they were, and it just opens the gap a little bit, makes it less than seamless. So it just needs, when that happens, just a slight tweak to twist it back into place, and then it generally stays. Okay, that's Junior gone, I'm afraid. He's now behind the camera. Just realised. That's not very nice. He was looking. I was only putting my hand near him and to move this microphone. Looked like he was about to try and bite. He's a sleepy pussycat, that's for sure. He's now just gone in front of me there, turned around a few times, curled up fairly tightly, and is going back to sleep. At least I'm now in a more comfortable position to do this. And if I just move things that way a little bit, then I should hopefully try and keep things on camera, which will be nice. Whenever you look at these, when I'm doing this sort of thing with prepared rings, where I'm looking at open rings and closed rings, generally speaking, even though I've counted them out exactly, I'm looking at the things and going, am I really going to have the right number? It kind of always looks like, in this particular case, I'm looking at the closed ring pile, which looks a lot smaller than the open ring pile, and I'm kind of wondering, did I count correctly, or am I going to be a long way out? Or sort of one of the, you know, sometimes if you're bored doing something, you sort of play little games. Well, I'm not bored doing this. I enjoy doing this. It's most times extremely relaxing. There are times when it's frustrating, but most time it's extremely relaxing, and not to the point where I'm going to fall asleep, but you do sometimes, you know, mind wanders onto other things, like drawing, taking rings away in a pattern so that you're left with curly loops or things just on the table in front of you. Silly games like that, really. And then there are times when the rings just will not go where you want them to go, and yeah, there's nothing relaxing about that particular situation. That really sort of winds you up for some reason. Okay, rings, quite what the problem is, I don't know, but you are going, there you go. I told you you'd go through. I keep thinking that one of these days, Lady Zara's going to hide a little tiny speaker under the desk. I'm going to start talking to these rings. She's going to start making them talk back, just to surprise me. Two. Come on. Yeah, two of you. That's it. Thank you. Oh, that's why. That's why. Okay. I must remember that. That looks quite good. That's a Byzantine loop section with a box section behind it. It's a great way for turning two box sections around. In this particular case, that's not what I'm after. So what I'm going to do now is fix it. That's why they didn't want to lie properly. I was about to say, well, that's one mistake, but with this you're allowed as many mistakes as you like, as long as you correct them. In fact, I saw a thing today which says a saying on somebody's sort of public feed at work, which basically said, if you're not making mistakes, you're not making anything, which is kind of true in a way. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Oh, stop doing that ring. These are... Alright, stay like that then. I don't know why that was doing. These are parallel jaw pliers. I use these because they grasp the aluminium rings a lot better than normal pliers. But not that time. So this is going to be a necklace, Byzantine chain necklace. It's to go with a bracelet in the same design and a pair of earrings to make it up a full three-piece set. And they will go into the Etsy shop shortly. Although if anybody wants a two-piece set, you can have two pieces. Any two pieces, as long as it's two of these. That was a loose attempt on the Henry Ford joke. It didn't work very well, but I suppose I could have done it along the lines of you can have any colour as long as it's silver. That would have been the Henry Ford attribution. I don't know whether he actually ever said that. You can have any colour of car you like as long as it's black. I think that's what he's reputed to have said. Whether he actually ever did, I don't know. You're not getting away that easily. It's alright, Junior. Just me picking up a ring. For those of you who weren't watching the stream earlier, Junior is curled up, probably asleep again, just over there. Just out of view of the camera. He was on my knee earlier, but must have been tired of resting his head on the desk and playing cute, so he got up and moved. So this is progressing quite nicely. It's not the fastest of growing chains. I seem to think the half Persian 4-in-1 seems to grow faster for me than just about anything else. But it's a nice steady chain to do. It's a nice simple pattern, so you don't actually have to concentrate too hard on it. Some of the others, like candy cane, you have to remember where you are, because you've got to put rings in a particular area, in a particular place, to keep the pattern looking correct for whichever pattern it is you're doing, because there's 3 different patterns for that. But and it's quite hard to do that actually when you're working with just pure silver coloured, because when I'm working with candy cane I use 3 colours normally, and they you can tell if you've done something right because of the progression of the colours. With silver you lose that when you go for all 1 colour, or even trying to do it with 2 colours. It's a little bit more awkward, but for Byzantine it's symmetrical, so it's really just a case of there's a gap, put a ring through it. Which is almost a paraphrase of another joke. And that one, well, there's various permutations of it, but it's things like cats and food. If it moves, you know, the rules for cats eating food. If it moves, eat it. If it doesn't move, bite it, see if it moves, and then apply rule 1. And we're going to grow this chain to about 16 and a half inches, something like that. And of course, just in case you were wondering, we grow it by adding rings. Actually, by adding what we call blocks, Byzantine blocks, which is a block of 6 rings. Okay. I am, just for the fun of it, going to measure this chain and we'll see how long we've got. For a minute then I thought I'd done a section wrong, but it looks okay. I work in inches, so 9 plus 7 inches. So I've actually got a, not quite, but almost double the length of this. And it actually doesn't matter which end I work from, so I'll just pick up that end. Actually, I was using the other end, I can tell that because it's warmer. One of the things about aluminium is it's a relatively warm metal. It warms up really quickly when you're wearing it, so it's not like you had a cold chain around your neck or something like that, which you sometimes get with some other metals. And this is actually starting to feel quite a bit weighty now. Aluminium's a lot lighter than silver, for example, and there is a sort of a real significant difference between them that you can tell when you pick up one or the other. But even so, this is starting to feel quite heavy, relatively speaking. So I feel about this. It's still lighter than probably a bracelet would be of a standard bracelet in silver, but I guess it all depends on whether you like your jewellery light and showy, or whether you like it heavy and showy. Of course, to other people looking at it, they can't they can't see the weight, but so what I'd say, because I make them, actually I have made sterling silver as well, is why pay for sterling silver when this stuff will stay shiny longer, looks just as good, but doesn't weigh or cost as much. It means you can have more for the same price. So we are just continuing with this particular weave to do the same thing, Byzantine weave. No idea where Byzantine originally came from, because it's not as though this weave originated in that region of the world, as far as I'm aware. It's like the Persian weaves. They definitely weren't Persian origin. They were more likely names that were made up to sound exotic and to counter or to distinguish them from the Japanese weave, which is from a Japanese region, and the European weaves, which are from the European region. They're fairly old designs, or fairly old ways of joining rings together, of things like the Byzantine and the European and Japanese weaves, and they do largely date back to the time when of course chainmail techniques were used to create armour or protective vests and things like that. But chainmail is the method by which the rings are interweaved, not armour.